For example 4, again, we're going to use regression to build a linear model from data. This time I want to use a different technology though. I'm going to use a spreadsheet. Specifically, Microsoft Excel has features that allow us to build linear models and other models from data. So in some ways, this is actually easier to use. I'm just going to copy this data, and let me mention as I do so that the X values represent the pH of well water samples, and the corresponding Y values represent bicarbonate content in parts per million. And so if I copy this and take it over to an Excel spreadsheet, now I can pretty easily build a graph of the data by choosing Insert, and then going to the chart options. I want to go to this scatter plot option and choose just a basic scatter plot. And we can see the data mapped onto the screen. And so we could adjust this chart if we'd like, but it's fine for our purposes. I can see the pH values on the x-axis and the bicarbonate parts per million on the y-axis. And now to do the regression, I want to go over to this green plus sign, and I want to add a trend line. Now the default is a linear trend line, but that's exactly what we want. So I'm going to go to this arrow here and choose more options. And now with the trend line highlighted, I can see a variety of options for the trend line. I can actually choose different types of trend lines beyond linear. But if I look down at this scroll bar, an option toward the bottom, display equation on the chart, places that equation on the chart. And there's a second option, again, if I go back and highlight the trend line, there's a second option that's worth mentioning, display R squared value on the chart. This is a statistical measurement that describes how much of the variability in the Y variable is related to changes in the X variable. So what we're seeing is that about 13%, 0.13, about 13% of the variability that we see in the bicarbonate levels is explained by changes in pH. So it's certainly not a perfect fit, but we can use this model to answer some questions. So I'm going to go back to OneNote and we'll finish looking at this example. So using Microsoft Excel, we found our model to be Y equals negative 41.815 X plus 470.85. So now with this model in place, we can try to answer some questions about the situation that we have. Based on the model, if the bicarbonate of a new well is 150 parts per million, what would you predict the pH of the water to be? So this question is giving us a Y value, an output value, a measure of the bicarbonate, and we want to figure out what the corresponding X value would be based on the model that we found. So substituting this value in for Y, I get the equation 150 equals negative 41.815 X plus 470.85. And a little bit of algebra shows us that the value of X is going to be 150 minus 470.85 divided by negative 41.815. Now, if you have a calculator handy, you might want to check my work here. Solving this, I found an X value of 7.673. So we roughly get a pH value of about 7.7. And one more question for us related to this model is an interpretation question. So we want to interpret the meaning of the slope of the model. Slope, of course, is the rate of change. The value that we have here is the negative 41.815. And for a linear function like this, it's a constant rate of change. Every time the pH, the X coordinate goes up by 1 unit, the corresponding y coordinate goes down by 41.815 units. So to put that into words, we could say something like the bicarbonate content drops by 41.815 parts per million for each 1 unit increase in pH. So with an interpretation question like that, we definitely want to respond with a sentence that kind of puts everything together and connects it to the context of the model.